What's up, fine apple? So I was thinking, oh, whoop, jump scare. Hi, we are up close and personal. So I am doing a Whoop or Womp. I heard your request for 2023 and we are doing it. So we have the Makeup by Mario Surreal skin and we're going to do a Whoop or Womp on this baby. Now, I have tried this foundation for probably about 2.5 to 3 weeks. So I have a really good grasp on it. I have an oily T-zone and I'm normal all around. I use this foundation in rain, in cold, at Disneyland, when I was just inside the house for super long days, all the way until like 2, 3 in the morning. Yes, I've tried it in all conditions, even the gym. Yes, the gym. So I'm going to tell you my experience with the Surreal Skin Foundation, and let's get into the Whoop or Womp. So I picked up the shade 12O, and the O stands for olive. I am not olive, but it is olive with warm undertones. So that's why it works for me. I'm always neutral or just warm or golden. So this is the shade I picked, and I finally picked the shade one time and it matched me. So this is the best match. Now I will say the reason why my face is so glowy is because I already prepped my skin, I moisturized it, and I also use Supergoop's glow screen. So that's why you're seeing this glow, but don't worry, I'm gonna go into everything with the foundation. So there are a ton of shades. I'm going to go ahead and do one pump right here, right on top, and just boop, right there, just so you can see. And this is 12O olive. And we're just going to start pushing that into the skin. I'm using a flat top kabuki. I do have some, little friends that left some scarring, so I'm happy so you can see how they cover that. And I'm also not using my studio lights because I feel like it gives a different feel for this foundation because it is a very luminous foundation. Now, overall, I have an oily T-zone and I'm normal all around. We're just going to push this in. The best bet for this is not to smear all around. Push the product and just start blending out. This foundation blends out like butter. Butter, movie style butter. That butter we all love. So it's not really giving too much of an olive undertone at all. I think it just looks more warm, if anything, so I'm really happy at that. One of the reasons why I am using just natural lighting, because I do not want to use my studio lights, is because I want you to just see it in normal lighting. This is just my lights in my room. I have a window open in the back and also on the side because there are light reflecting particles in this foundation. Now, I will say I saw some comments and I saw just people, commenting other people's videos saying, oh my gosh, I returned it. You could see the glitter on my face. I will tell you right now, it is not glitter in a jar. That's so exaggerative. Who Mario is, do you think? Everything he's accomplished as with his career. You know what? My first foundation, I'm going to put glitter in a bottle. Come on now. So this is what the first side looks like. Very luminous, very beautiful. And I will say I do have the Supergoop over, but it is a luminous foundation regardless. It does not matter that I have my Supergoop because, yeah, it looks luminous. I've tried it in all different ways. And if anything, if you're someone who likes to use Supergoop and you love the glow screen, then here's a good example. Because I feel like a lot of people probably didn't have a glowy product underneath. So if anything, it is beneficial. So there you go. Very just smooth like butter. It blends out so nice. So now we're going to use a sponge. This is just a Wet n Wild one. And I went ahead and damped it because I find like a lot of people do damp their sponges. I usually use it dry, but it works very well with a damp sponge. So I'm going to go ahead and do the one pump, just bring it right there so it doesn't soak up too much. And now we're going to blend this side out. Now I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel about this while I apply it because I don't want this video to be too crazy, but you see how it covered up my hyperpigmentation? This is a medium full to full coverage. The less foundation you use, obviously you can get a more natural look. So, which I actually love. I love natural looking foundations, just enhancing my skin. So this is what it looks like. You can still see some hyperpigmentation pulling through with this sponge, but I usually use concealer for this area anyhow. If you feel like this is just going to just set completely, it's not. It's a luminous foundation and it's going to stay that way. So you're going to feel glowy from the jump. Because I do know that when I had this on, I was like, it's not fully setting, but hello, it's a luminous, dewy foundation for sure. No glitter though. I feel like a lot of people did have mixed reviews and I totally get it. And I feel like I did as well testing this. So for this foundation, I'm going to tell you right now, if you have oily skin and you are tired of being oily, you're not going to like this foundation. Because as you can see, it's very luminous. And even though I have super goop underneath, like I said, it doesn't matter. It's still very luminous. So this is what it looks like with the sponge, wet sponge. Very beautiful, very dewy, luminous. If you love that glow, this is for you. And I'm someone where I actually prefer a glow. I want to be 100% transparent. I'm oily in my T-zone, pretty much normal all around. I love glow. When you have oily skin, I also find that no matter what foundation, even your best foundations, you will always blot. There is not one foundation I've had where I haven't had to blot at least one time, or like touch up, not necessarily blot, but touch up. So it's very natural to know that I'm going to end up, touching up. This foundation has been sitting here. And if you want to wear this foundation, what I suggest you doing, which I started doing with it, because the first time I started using it, I was like, whoa, it is really not set. I feel like everything's kind of moving around. This is a foundation that I recommend putting on and then doing the rest of your face, like your eyes or eyebrows, all of that, and letting it kind of sit. The reason why I say that is because I feel like it really just sets a little bit more, and there's no risk of it transferring or having movement. And I'm someone where I do my eye makeup first and then I move on to my face. But for this foundation, I definitely have let it sit. And I have been enjoying that, actually, to let my skincare sit, my SPF, and also my foundation just to set, and then do my eyes. I find that my makeup has been lasting a little bit more. I lose chance of risk of moving product or foundation when I do my contour or blush. So there's actually been some benefits to it. And I have been changing up my routine. And it's not just for the foundation, but for this foundation specifically, I would use that kind of routine if you don't. I do know a lot of people say they like the way it looks later on. I actually really loved it from beginning to end. I know a lot of people, there was like mixed reviews, like I said, and I want to put it out there just so you know. People have said that it broke them out. They have said that there's glitter on their face, that it just didn't last on them, or they were just a greasy, the main one was a greasy mess. Now, you also have to take in consideration skincare and skin prep. But if you like a glow, like myself, and I'm oily, I'm not crazy oily, but I'm oily, then I really enjoyed it. This is probably the glowiest foundation I have used. I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on to my cream products. I wasn't sure if I was going to show you, but I am. I'm using Sephora Best Skin Ever. This is in the shade 22.5N, so neutral. And I'm just putting that underneath my eyes. I'm going to show you all the cream products so you can see what it looks like once everything is all done and before I set it. Next up, I'm using the Rare Beauty bronzer. This is on the warm side, but I actually prefer it, and I really like the way it looks once everything is all together, and it's called Always Sunny. Push it in and it blends out super quick. Remember, don't smear. I feel like I've been making that mistake lately, and I saw someone's video and I was like, oh yeah, I keep moving my foundation around. So just blend the product where it's at, no smearing. I think because usually I do my makeup in such a rush that I picked up a habit of actually smearing. This one I kind of smear because I just like to blend it up. But look at the foundation. It's not set yet, and it's been sitting. So just keep that in mind. That's why I wanted to show you this part too. My Rare Beauty blush. This one is in the shade Joy. You just need like a little boop. And now I'm just going to blend this out with a duo fiber right here. It is very pigmented. I will transfer it to the other side. So you just got to be careful with this one. And there you go. Very dewy, very luminous. You will not escape it. The only time you're going to escape it is once you set everything that is wet. So this is what it looks like beforehand. To me, this foundation looks very beautiful. It's very glowy and dewy. Like I said, if you don't like that, this is going to be a Womp for you immediately. But it gives very healthy skin where it's like, whoa, I just had a facial or something. Like, that's what it really reminds me of. Just very glowy, dewy, youthful looking. To blend out my concealer a little bit more, blend this out. And then I just do a light dusting. I'm using the Laura Mercier, and I just lightly dust underneath here. This is just Fenty in 280, and just, what is this called? One of my favorite brushes, the All Over Powder from Sigma. And I just push the product right in, right there. And as you can see, there's still a luminous glow. So I'm just going to set it. The Dior blush in Coral. If you guys haven't seen my trying out viral TikTok products, this is definitely one of the ones I kept. And I've been using this because it goes perfect over that Rare Beauty blush. What do you think? Still very glowy, very dewy, not too flat matte. And I will say, for the longevity of this foundation, I think it lasted a pretty good 7 to 8 hours max. After that, I started seeing it, you know, kind of go away after eating, drinking, going about your day. I didn't have any issues with glitter on my skin. I didn't have any issues with being blasted with grease. My oils did not pull through any more than it would with other luminous foundations. Now, like I said, there's going to be a lot of people where it ended up being a womp, and I totally get it. It's all in our likes, wants, and needs. Some people that were oily, it just happened to not work out for them. So I feel like this foundation, I won't lie, like really had the most mixed reviews I have probably ever seen on a foundation. If you're not willing to take the risk, then maybe don't do it. But if you want to try it out, you know, try it out. Keep your receipt, definitely. But I absolutely loved it. I think it looks glowy, beautiful, lasted just long enough. And a lot of people said they liked the way it wore within the day and they liked the way it looked later. I liked it from start to finish. I didn't find it settling weird or looking kind of like rough. You know, when you see lots of texture, that definitely didn't happen to me. Let's see. It did peel with one of my primers, which is the Benefit Professional, but I use this one because it is a water-based foundation. Sorry, I forgot to say that. And this is a water-based primer. So the Benefit Professional, which I will say ends up peeling on me when I have my skincare, my SPF, and all that, because it's a pore filling primer. So if you have excess because of that base, it can end up peeling anyhow. You like glowy, lasting around 7 to 8 hours, and being able to blend like butter. It looks beautiful, both sponge and brush, you know, then yeah, I think this foundation would be for you. I definitely did need to touch up within the day, you know, but like I said, that is no different than any other foundation. So yeah, that's about it. Let me know down below if you guys have tried it out. This is definitely a Woop for me. I absolutely love it. I think it blends out beautifully with all my other products. Let me know if you guys are going to try it, and I hope you guys enjoy this Woop or Womp. And like I said, for me, it was a Woop. Let me know. I want to know your comments. All right, love you guys, and I will see you in the next Woop or Womp and my next video. Mwah.